Dr. Niedecken, I would like to talk to you about your text, The Primal Scene and Symbol Formation. Now, we've just heard a few moments of the Bando terzetto by Mozart. How does this piece of music connect in here?
Well, what we've heard is a musical presentation of an excited encounter of two people or two voices winding each other up to a sort of climax, and a third voice joining. And I feel this is a musical presentation of a primal scene where a third person is somehow participating or joining.
Right. In your text you discuss this primal scene fantasy as it is usually conceived of, which is a kind of sadomasochistic fantasy, in opposition to another mode of experiencing that you're putting forward, which is the primal scene as a trio. Mm-hmm. What can Mozart's music teach us here?
Well, the primal scene is generally thought of as a fantasy in which the child experiences him or herself as excluded from the parents' intercourse and projects her or his feelings into it, makes it a violent encounter. In music in general, not only in Mozart's Bando trio, we can find rather different constellations and solutions for this conflictual situation. And this made me think that what is possible to be expressed in music might actually belong to our experience in general.
Right. And did you find clinical evidence for this?
Oh yes. In my article I have presented two cases. I found material that showed me the primal scene fantasy in quite a different light than what we are used to. This material I could only understand after I had started to think that there must be another way of processing the primal scene fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let us look at the other concept that is in your title, which is symbol formation. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you are referring to an author that is not very well known in the English world, which is Alfred Lorenzer. Can you give us an idea of how his concept of symbol formation comes in here?
Well, fortunately, Lorenzer refers to an author who is quite well known indeed in the English-speaking world, the philosopher Susanne Lange. She coined the terms presentational and discursive symbolism, which Lorenzer then integrated into psychoanalytic theory. And I'm suggesting that the discursive mode is based on the capacity to stay in the exclusive position, to look at things from the outside, that is. On the other hand, the presentational symbolism, like take art, dreams or reverie, is based on the capacity to get involved without getting lost in fusion. And this capacity is, I think, developed through processing the primal scene as a trio.
Okay. I'm afraid we've come to an end now, but let me ask one last question. What made you start thinking about these different modes of experiencing the primal scene? What was your starting point?
Well, in the past years I've been busy thinking about traumatic processes, and I've written a book about it. And while I was studying these processes, I was struck by the fact that symbol formation seems to be disrupted in the traumatic interject, and that people with traumatic experience seem to not combine presentational and discursive symbolism anymore. That in flashbacks you have like a presentation of the trauma without any possibility of finding a distance to it. And in the dissociative mode, they can talk about it, but they have no way of feeling it. They are positioning themselves in it.
All right, I see. Dietmut, thank you very much for this very interesting talk.
Thank you.
Ja. never.